Dragon Ball. A story so epic the explosions just come naturally. But what if there were more? What if we introduced a character that increased explosions by a disproportionate amount, making it the main focus of the series? That's what we aim to cover today with the beginning of the story, What If Torgue Was in Dragon Ball? Now, if you're new to this channel, this is something unorthodox, but this is a milestone story. Reaching 100 subscribers was quite the achievement for me, and to thank my fans, I decided that when I reached milestones, I would introduce characters from outside of the franchise in and make a what if about them. And these ones are meant to be pretty nutty. Honestly, even crazier and more off the rails than our April Fool's what if, such as what if Kid Trunks and Goten time traveled. That one's pretty wild as well. So if you want to start off with something a little bit more serious, trust me, I understand. Part 1 of my longest running series, What If Raditz Fought Goku at Kame House, is right above my head. Please check that out. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. It helps the channel out immensely. Mr. Torgue High Five Flexington is the CEO of Torgue Corporation in the Borderlands universe. Being raised, surrounded by explosions, he has a knack for them, and made sure that all of his technology had an explosion built directly into it. From explosive ammunition to guns that explode when you reload them, everything had an explosion in mind in Torgue's brain. But this version of Torgue is different, and to find out more, we have to go back a few years, to before the beginning of Dragon Ball. Years, in fact, to the days of even Nappa's youth. So join me on this epic adventure filled with new faces and familiar ones alike. As many explosions go along the way, how will Torgue affect the story of Dragon Ball? Let's find out. Our story begins on the planet Vegeta, but not one that's about to be destroyed by Frieza. Not even one that's inhabited by the likes of Prince Vegeta yet. No, we've got quite a while before we reach that point. However, it is inhabited by one strong individual, General Flexington, leader of the Saiyan army. He's waiting in an elevator, heading up to the throne room to have a discussion with the king. He called upon him. He's not entirely certain why, but he's interrupted as the elevator doors open up and reveal a very young, barely in his 20s, Nappa. Wow! General Flexington! What an honor! Nappa says as he enters the elevator, awestruck by his personal hero being in the same presence as him. He was fairly new, barely a lieutenant, and he hadn't caught a glimpse of many of the generals yet, especially not the leader of the entire Saiyan army. The honor is all mine to meet a fan, fellow Saiyan! However, call me Torgue! That's what my friends say. Oh, yes sir, Mr. Torgue, happy to say it. How in the f*** did you know my whole first name? What? I'm sorry, sir. You told me Torgue. And what was that beep coming out of your voice just now? My full first name is Mr. Torgue! You f***ing psychics know everything! And the f***ing king took the f***ing voice box and censored me! Bull***! Nappa was saved by the elevator dinging and the door opening. He really didn't know how to respond, so he just kind of left. It closed again, and a few moments later, it opened once more to reveal the throne room. Torgue approached the throne and quickly noticed the somber look on the king's face. This was the new King Vegeta, just barely taking over the reign after his father's untimely death. General Flexington, thank you for joining on such short notice. I know your schedule is quite busy. I always await my epic king's next demands! What's the mission, boss? The royal guard stepped in a little bit closer, and King Vegeta braced himself. He was about to pull out some news that Torgue did not want to hear. There are no missions to be had, Torgue. I regret to inform you that, as of today, you are being demoted, and Paragus is taking your place. What? Paragus is taking over? That f***ing dork is full of What the f*** is happening? Is this because I accidentally blew up your dad? I told you I was sorry for that! This is bull***! It is almost exclusively because you blew up my dad. But in addition to that, you continuously exterminate more Saiyans than anybody that we ever attack. You are the worst general our history has ever seen. Explosions are the only thing you seem to care about, not results. We're supposed to be conquering planets. What? I conquer planets all the time! Yes, but the only way that we can sell them is if they're still intact. You blow up at least 80% of them. F***ing bullshit! This is bullshit! Nobody ever told me that! Well, that seems highly unlikely. However, it doesn't matter. After this display, you are banished from my planet immediately. Take a ship of your choice and leave. So Torgue took the fastest ship he could find and made his leave. He never expected this to happen and was going through quite the crisis. Heck, he thought that he was going to die in a fiery explosion in service of the king. Not banished from the planet, from the same king. This was humiliating, life-altering, and several other words that he didn't know the definitions of. He needed to think, so he decided to head for a planet that didn't really have known inhabitants, or at least, not for a while. It was a planet logged as Namek, one that they thought was uninhabited due to destruction of the race that lived there years ago. There was apparently a massive storm? Well, in any case, the weather seemed calm now, so the perfect place to plant down. But when he got there, his scouter went off. Apparently, it wasn't uninhabited. In fact, there was a substantial power not that far off, and it was heading right for him. The being quickly arrived to the annoyance of Torgue. "Who the f*** are you?" And this green figure was taken aback by that. "I am the one who is supposed to be asking the questions. You have invaded my planet. Who are you?" "Oh, apologies! My parents didn't raise me to be rude. I am Mr. Torgue High-Five Flexington, at your service. I am Nail, the new servant to our guru. And that is quite the long name. Is there a shorter name I can use for you?" "Yes! I'm glad you asked! Just call me Torgue!" Through many censored obscenities, Nail finally managed to piece together what was going on. This guy was going through a midlife crisis. Apparently, Saiyans have this physiology where they remain in their prime close to the end of their life, and this guy was nearing it right now. And he expected to die in a massive explosion. It was the only way that he wanted to go. And now it seemed like he wasn't going to get that unless he manufactured it. And doing it through fabricated results was not what he wanted. He wanted to die the right way, with honor. And this was beyond odd. However, it wasn't necessarily malicious. This guy just seemed like he wanted to have fun. It was his only goal in life, really. So, he decided to go ahead and take him to Guru and just have him gauge him out. He led him to his master's place and introduced him to Guru. "What seems to be the problem?" "I'm getting too f***ing old to blow up!" "Old? You're getting too old? I'm fat and old! Granted, I've been like this for decades, and I think I still have more left in me. It's sad. Pathetic!" "Master, as I've told you before, I think you can use the Dragon Balls to restore your youth." "Shut up, Nail!" "Yeah, shut the f*** up, you nerd! The elders are speaking!" "Oh my guru, I need a breath." With that, Nail took his leave and left the two of them to screaming matches. But hardly screaming matches out of anger. The two of them seemed to enjoy just yelling at each other. And after a while, it dawned on Torgue what Nail had said. Youth could be restored with something called the Dragon Balls? Wait a minute. That nerd might be onto something. "Listen, Guru, I have a proposition for you. You see, I want to go around and blow up for years to come, and eventually die in a blaze of glory. But I can't do that in my advanced age. I'll die soon. But he said something about that Dragon Ball. Can that bring my youth back to me?" "Oh, is that what he's been saying this entire time? That sounds really freaking cool. Yeah, let's go do that." And so, Torgue and Guru traveled around the villages collecting the Dragon Balls. How did Guru do this when he was so fat? Well, he made Nail pick up his throne and carry him the entire time. And eventually, they gathered the Dragon Balls and summoned Purunga. When the dragon approached, both of them wished for youth, and both of them were granted it. "This is f***ing awesome! Now I need to find a place to develop the greatest explosive technology the universe has ever seen! Do you have any recommendations?" "I'm unsure, bestie. However, we did have a GPS location on a ship years ago, but someone stole it! That being said, I did write down the coordinates if you'd like them. I'm sure it must be inhabited if that thieving Namekian took it. That would be f***ing awesome! Bye, bestie! And you, Nail, try not to be such a f***ing nerd!" And with that, Torgue flew hastily back to his ship and plugged in the coordinates. It popped up a name. Earth. He had no idea what that even was, but he was excited to start this new journey. With brand new youth and a thirst for explosions, the journey of Dragon Ball has just begun, and that's where we're going to be leaving things for right now. If you're enjoying the goofier side of the Dragon Ball what ifs, please check out this one where Kid Trunks and Goten time travel. There's a lot of shenanigans there as well. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.